What also is estrogen mimickers is these xenoestrogens in herbicides, insecticides, pesticides, chemicals. A lot of chemicals break down to substances that mimic estrogen. I'm going to tell you a story about one other aspect. This happened in about 1985 in Puerto Rico. There was an epidemic of children going through puberty at 5 years of age. And they traced it to an anabolic agent that they were giving to cattle to make them grow quickly. And it was a breakdown from a mold waste. And this mold waste is called zearalenone. And the product was called Zearalol. Now the farmers thought because it wasn't actually a chemical, they could give it to the cows right up until, a couple of weeks before market. But as I showed you on Monday, these mold wastes are quite toxic. So that zearalenone, that mold waste, has an estrogenic effect on the body. In fact, grains grow it easily. And that's why people on high wheat diets, they can be getting a little bit of an overload of zearalenone. Because a small amount is allowed through, otherwise no wheat would ever be passed. So they discovered that women were eating meat in pregnancy that had had the zearalol, causing it to grow quickly, and then that was affecting their babies, so their babies were going through puberty at 5 years of age. This is in Puerto Rico, 1985. So I'm going to show you 4 different types of estrogen. Now these are 4 cells, and these are 4 estrogen receptor sites on the cell. So this one is the xenoestrogen, and xenoestrogen is 20,000 times stronger than the plant. So there's the plant there. So, sorry, I've made a mistake there. That's human. So how big is xenoestrogen? It's huge. And this is zearalenone. And it's 1,000 times stronger than the human. So it's about this big. Well, how big's human? Human estrogen's that big. And it's 20,000 times stronger than the plant. So how big's the plant? The plant is only a tiny little thing that just slips into the receptor site like that. So where do you find the plant's estrogens? You find the plant estrogens in red clover, in some greens, in soy. And this plant estrogen, because it's a plant, it comes to the receptor site and it knocks. Excuse me, can I come in? And the cell says, no, we've got enough. So you know what the plant estrogen does? Sits in the receptor site, protecting that receptor site from these 2 guys who are the nasties. But if it knocks on the door and says to the cell, do you need me? And the cell says, oh yes please, it will come in. Psalm 104 verse 14, the Bible says God gave herbs for the service of man. I love that illustration because plants come in and say, where would you like me? I am here to serve you. Whereas these chemicals, they said, get out of my way, I'm coming in whether you need it or not. And those xenoestrogens have this strong cell proliferator action. Can you see that? Now here's the soybean grown in America today. It's called Roundup Ready. Why is it called Roundup Ready? It's been genetically modified to resist Roundup. Problem number 1. And a farmer told me this. He said 5 times before harvest the field is sprayed. He said all the weeds die and the soybean keeps growing. That's a bit scary, isn't it? So that soybean, not only has it been genetically modified, but it has 5 doses of chemicals in it. That soybean will increase breast cancer. That soybean will increase prostate cancer, not because of the natural estrogens, but because of the xeno. Can you see that? There's a lot of controversy on soy, isn't there? One lady I know she did a thesis on soy, and when people ask her about soy, she's got a one-line answer. She said it's real easy. God made it good, man mucked it up, end of story. So if you eat soy, I don't eat a lot, but I might have it once or sometimes twice a week. I make sure it's non-GMO, organically grown. Then there's not a problem.